At Lumina, we want to use transparent data that anybody has access to. The beauty of Stronger Nation is we've pulled it together in an easily accessible way so that you can clearly see in these data visualizations where the attainment rate is. You can clearly see a picture of the nation. You can clearly look at counties within states or metros within states. And oftentimes when people see this tool, they're blown away by how easy it is to use, how easy it is to share. Policymakers find it very accessible. They don't want to go into the American Community Survey and get a special data finder tool and spend hours just figuring out how to find a simple number. Stronger Nation allows them at the click of a button to go through and see the data that are most important to them. Those numbers that can really tell the story about how their state is doing and use that to talk to other people about it. When you first pull it up, you can see right away where the national average is. This is the most recent data that we have, and you can see that we're in the nation because we've clicked over here, nation. So the nation currently is at 47.6%. And then as I scroll down the page, I get a lot more information. So I can look at the different education levels, and you can see everything here on this side accounts for the 47.6%, whether it's certificate, associate degree, bachelor's, and you can see the percentage in each. If I hover over any one of them, I can see the actual number of people that percentage represents, which is pretty powerful. This next part factors in race ethnicity because Lumina leads with a racial ethnic imperative. And so here we can see, this gives us a snapshot on where the attainment rates are for these specific race ethnicities. And it shows us the change from 2012. The good news is that everyone is increasing. So in the last 5 years, we can see that everyone has increased in attainment. The bad news is that these gaps still remain. So we still have the same gap between whites and African Americans in 2017 that we did in 2012. The next piece of information gives us the state-by-state educational attainment. Most of the states in the US have set attainment goals. And so here what we can see is just a snapshot of the US and where they are with regards to attainment. The darker the blue, the higher the attainment level. And I can hover over any state to see where their attainment rate is. So it's just a quick and dirty. Now the last thing on this page that I really want to emphasize is exploring race ethnicity. This page allows us to look at all of the states and where they are with regards to race ethnicity in any one place. And so again, just as I could do with the states above those tiles, I can sort these by population, by attainment, and enrollment. And each of these dots represent one of the race ethnicities. And the thing that this allows me to do, let's say that I only want to focus on Hispanics. So I can click away everybody else and then look across to see where we are with regards to Hispanic attainment across all the states. And it gives me a quick look at where I have some of the highest attainment rates for Hispanics in Maine, in the District of Columbia, to where I have some of the lowest rates for Hispanic attainment. Arkansas, Nevada, and just moving up, you can see those. So a very different example might be Utah, who you can see, as I said before, the attainment goal is already placed in here. So Utah's attainment rate is 52%, and the state is working toward an attainment goal of 66%, which is very different than Indiana's 60% or the national goal of 60%. So I can see where Utah sits, currently at 52.2%, and looking at that compared to their 66% goal. The final thing on this page is the metro areas. So all of the metro areas within the state are identified here. So we have 3 within Indiana. And so I can look at any of these and see what the attainment rate and the total population. And they are sorted by metropolitan size, that's the squares, and then against this bar of where the attainment is. So you can see the higher attainment rate here at almost 47% in Chicago, compared to the Louisville attainment rate at almost 39%. Then the final thing that Stronger Nation allows us to do is we can do a deep dive just on those metro areas. So just like before, where we could look at the state map, Here are all the metro areas, the top 100 most populous metro areas in the nation are put on this map, and I can hover over any of them and see what the attainment rate is. Again, the darker the square, the higher the attainment rate, and the larger the square, the larger the population in that metro area. But this allows me, I can hover over it and see, for example, Atlanta has an attainment rate of 46.3%, and it's the 9th largest US metro area. And again, just like with my states, I can sort them by attainment, by metro name, or by population, and really dig deep into the metro area with the highest attainment rate, Madison, Wisconsin, all the way to the lowest attainment rate, Bakersfield, California. So a few years ago, we created this online tool so that governors, mayors, community members could actually pull the data in a more accessible way. And we regularly get calls about when we're going to update the data. So this has become a really important resource for states and communities. We even get requests from the federal government for this data. It's regularly cited across the nation by all types of people, the information they find within Stronger Nation.